Hey guys, welcome to my podcast, Hello the Pop. Yet another edition of the Pop Talk. That's right, this is my very first episode. Guys, I'm so excited. We do have a YouTube channel under the same name, Hello the Pop. But now we got a podcast, and this is the first ever episode of my podcast. I'm so excited. I said that already. And we're starting a new series entitled Short Lessons. And for our first episode of this series, we are going to be talking about wisdom. And I broke it down into 3 questions. Why is wisdom so important? How has wisdom impacted me? And how did I get wisdom? So I'm going to be answering these questions for you guys and breaking down what wisdom is, why it's important to me, and so that you can have a better understanding. So to start off with, we're going to answer the first question, which is why is wisdom so important? And to start off with, I just want to tell you guys that for me, when I started going deeper in the Lord, wisdom was the starting point for me. And I found that God started training me in wisdom. That's how he started my relationship with him. I constantly found myself reading books in the Bible that were related to wisdom. God would lead me to the book of Proverbs, the book of Ecclesiastes. So God constantly led me to the book of Ecclesiastes and Proverbs, and I found myself reading these books in and out of season. And so the more I read about wisdom, the more understanding that I gained, and the more I was able to apply knowledge. And also, like the Bible says, wisdom is the foundation of knowledge, because without wisdom, you cannot apply knowledge. There are tons of people that I know personally that are very intelligent. They went to school. They have more degrees than a thermometer, but they don't know how to apply their knowledge properly, and they don't make good decisions for their lives overall. So God teaching me wisdom early on really benefited me. And I want to say that wisdom is important as well, because it is one of the benefits of having a relationship with God. When you have a relationship with God, God is going to give you wisdom so that you can navigate life the way you should. So that is why wisdom is so important. So let's continue here with the next question. And the next question is, how has wisdom impacted me? Well, like I said, my relationship with God started off with wisdom. And so if I can go back, I can honestly say reading the Proverbs and reading the book of Ecclesiastes, I learned like what it says in Proverbs chapter 1, verse 7. It says, the fear of the Lord is the beginning of knowledge, but fools despise wisdom and instructions. So wisdom is knowing what God is doing in your life, in a sense. And so wisdom allows you to know what God is doing in your time. And so I found that wisdom has impacted me in that aspect, because it has taught me that God is in control. God controls my life. And it's not a control as, an authoritative figure, but it's a control as in he knows what's best for me. So wisdom allows me to be in a place of, complete chill. I'm never on zero chill. I'm always on complete chill, because I know that God is in control and that he knows what's best for me. And wisdom has impacted me in the sense that I'm not, you know, losing my mind on a daily basis trying to figure this life out because, yeah, this life is very complicated, especially without God. So I'm very blessed to say that God has definitely given me this gift of wisdom, and it has impacted my life tremendously because it has aided me in making the best decisions for my life as much as possible on a daily basis. And the last question is, how did I get wisdom? Well, wisdom is a gift from God. Wisdom is a benefit that you have when you have a relationship with God. So how do you get wisdom? When you are in a relationship with God, God gives you wisdom. And it is important to ask God to give you wisdom as well, because the Bible does say that we can ask God for wisdom and he will give it to us. And I'm going to give you the reference of that because I want you to read it for yourself. 1 second. But in the meantime, I want to reiterate that it's important for you to tell God, hey, God, I want it. I want wisdom. I want you to give me this gift, because if you read about David's son, Solomon, which when he became king, when his father passed, he didn't ask God for money. He didn't ask God for anything. All he asked God for was wisdom. He said, God, give me wisdom. I'm a young king, but if I don't have wisdom, I won't be able to govern your people properly. And the Lord showed up to him in a dream and said, well, because you didn't ask me for riches or fame, you asked me for wisdom, I'm going to give you wisdom, but I'm also going to give you those things. So we don't realize that when we have wisdom, it also comes with success, because wisdom is success. The most successful people I know have a lot of wisdom because they are able to make good decisions, not just financially, but in every area of their lives. So if we look at James chapter 1 verse 5, it tells us that if you ask for wisdom, God will give it generously without finding fault. If any of you lacks wisdom, he should ask God, who gives generously to all without finding fault, and it will be given to you. So if you read James chapter 1 verse 5, you will see it. That's the verse, that's the reference where you can find where the Bible tells you that you can ask God for wisdom. And why shouldn't you? Because without wisdom, you're not going to be able to navigate life properly. So ask God for wisdom, seek wisdom. Wisdom is a gift from God. Wisdom only comes from God. Don't let anyone fool you. If there's anyone that you could say, well, princess, that's not true because I know this guy who lives in my neighborhood. He's an older gentleman and blah, 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 and he has wisdom, but he doesn't believe in God. Well, let me tell you something. Sometimes people who have a lot of experience can come off as wise, but it doesn't mean they have wisdom. Here's the truth of the matter. Wisdom comes from God. God is wisdom. Only God can give a person wisdom. If someone sounds smart and you're telling me that they have no relationship with God, I don't know people's business, but what I'm telling you is it's a gift from God. It comes from God, and not everyone has wisdom. Some people have something called experience. They've gone through a lot of things in life. They've experienced a lot of unfortunate things, which has taught them many lessons. But it doesn't mean that they have wisdom. Wisdom comes from God. And having wisdom doesn't mean you have to make a lot of stupid mistakes to have wisdom. And that's what I'm trying to show you, the difference between experience and wisdom. Some people sound really intelligent because they've experienced a lot of things in life. Therefore, they have a lot to say because they've learned many lessons. And then there are people I know who didn't make the same errors. Doesn't mean they're better than this person, but they have something called wisdom. They didn't have to go through that difficulty to learn the lesson, because that's what wisdom is there for. Wisdom is there so that you don't do certain things in life that you can never recover from. Wisdom is there to tell you, don't do that, because if you do that, you may never come out. Don't say that, because if you say that, you may sever ties with this person. Don't go there, because if you go there, you may never come back. Don't take that next step, because if you take that next step, you can fall to your death. So that's what wisdom does for you. It's a measure of things that you should and shouldn't do, and knowing why you shouldn't do it. So I love wisdom. I think wisdom is a gift, and I know that wisdom only comes from God. So don't be fooled. So guys, that is really all that I have to say about wisdom for today. Again, it's called a short lesson. There isn't much to be said. So I hope that this word has blessed you as it has blessed me. And guys, I look forward to the next podcast. And please support this ministry and share this. Like it, share it. I don't know how it's said on podcasts. I'm so used to YouTube. Like, comment, share, subscribe. I guess I'll say the same thing. All right, guys. So like, comment, share, and subscribe. And I'll see you guys. I'll be speaking to you guys on the next podcast or the next episode, the next Pop Talk. Forgive me, guys. I'm new to this. Have a great day. God bless.